Welcome to my channel, farming friends and family. Today, this is Sheep Facts with Wendy. What? Hello everybody, it's Wendy from Bald Knob Farmstead again. Hey, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I've had a couple questions from people that are looking to buy sheep, and I love the Icelandic breed. I would love any of them, I do, but we have mostly Icelandic. So I'm gonna give you some facts today that I've either learned over the years, or I've pulled up over the internet, or I've read in the books. So I'm gonna try to get you the facts right. Some websites vary with information, so here we go. Okay, we started to get Icelandics, oh, when was it? I think 2019, I believe. So these guys are a Northern European breed. So mainly Iceland, if you can believe it. That's where their name came from. So they are an Icelandic breed. They came, as from what I have understood from a few people, and I read it somewhere, the Vikings brought them over, and if I remember right, I believe they were a mixed, there was a bunch of different breeds, and over the years they bred into what these guys are today. Well, when they settled into Northern Europe, Iceland, they now became their own breed. That's what I understand. That's what was described to me. And so now they are a purebred form of, they're mid-sized sheep. So some characteristics, look at Mabel. Hi. Mabel has relatively short ears. Hi. A great personality. So they also have a double coat, and she was just shorn a couple months ago, so her coat's a little bit short. This is called tog. This is the guard hair, the thick stuff that protects them. And then they have something called pel, P-E-L. That is the undercoat that is super soft, super warm, super amazing, that keeps them nice and toasty through the long, cold European winters. Another characteristic, they have little short tails, so these are not docked. We do not dock their tails. That's just a breed characteristic. Now, another thing that trips me up, and it's always going to, and it trips up a lot of people, is the coloring of these guys. They only have two colors for the Icelandic. I don't know if it's across the board with other sheep, but they have two colors. It is black and what's called moret, or the brown color. So this is Gunner. He is a solid moret, so, or brown, as you can tell. They also have spotting. So white is actually on these guys a color pattern. So there's six color patterns. So she is brown, or moret color. Her color pattern is white, actually. And they can be spotted or not spotted. So the spots are not colored. The spotting is white. You would think if you look at one that has a brown spot, the brown is not a spot. The white is a spot. So also there is, and we do not have any of these, the mouflon, and there's a gray mouflon. I'll put a picture so you know what the heck I'm talking about. They're kind of cool. We don't have them here. And then there's also badger face, who is right there. That's Lips. So she's badger face. That's another color pattern, because it kind of looks like the face of a badger, if you can picture what that looks like. You're sorrel. You don't count. You're not a sheep. But to recap, the colors are black and moret, or brown, and then the color patterns are going to be white, gray, badger face, mouflon, and then there's a pretty gray mouflon. It's the mouflon with gray. And then what else? Oh, solid. I'm looking right at him. Solid. So those are the color patterns. And somebody got into a fight through the fence and cut one of his horns off. Now, speaking of, there's also two different varieties. Well, I guess three, but two, horned or polled. So horned are obviously these guys here that actually have horns. And then polled, they have absolutely nothing. There's no nubbins, there's no stubbins, there's no nothing like Mabel here. She is polled. She's the polled variety. Now, the horned variety, I think they look super awesome. Nia right there looks super awesome, beautiful in her baby. They're beautiful. And our old sheep, Dwayne, I will show you him in a minute. They just have amazing horns. However, the horned ones are a little bit harder on fences. They tend to fight more. I'm petting you. Why are you telling me to pet you when I'm already petting you? They tend to fight more, and they can get their horns stuck. They can get them caught on each other. They can rip off the sheath, and then they can just bleed ever. I'm petting you. Hello. You're such a stinkerhead. You're standing on my foot. Or there's also skurs. I'm not sure if like the breed, if they recognize skurs, but I'll show you if I can on this little guy. So if you look at the top of his head, hi Gunner, he has those little nubbins on the very top, and so does Chester, our other ram. He has those little nubbins also, which I don't mind. I don't mind breeding for that, but I would much rather have the polled variety, because in my experience, we're breeding mostly for manageability. So we don't want anything that's going to be a pain in the neck. If we have an absolute pain in the neck sheep, or if they don't lamb well, which they're very prolific also. So touch a little bit on the breeding. They can actually breed approximately October through the spring. So our flock here comes into heat generally around November to December. And so they're usually all bred by about the first week of December. The rams can breed as soon as they're sexual maturity. They can breed pretty much all year, but the breeding season really kicks in, at least for us, in November, December. So, and on that, the ewes, who is a female sheep, a ram is a male sheep. So if you ever hear me say ewes versus rams, a ewe is a female and a ram is a male sheep. A wether is a male who's been castrated. So there you go. They're really prolific. Twins are the most common for us on the farm. They very commonly have triplets. The Icelandic breed, I think, has been known to have like 5 or 6 at a time, but that's a little bit more rare. There's certain strains that can have multiples, but I would prefer if they all had twins. Triplets are great, but sometimes you have a bottle baby to feed. So they're very prolific. They fend off predators pretty well, especially the ones with horns. They do get shorn twice a year. Now, there's other sheep breeds. We've had one on the farm that actually can shed their wool. So it's kind of nice if they are out on the range and they can shed their wool over the spring or summer. But ours here, we do have to shear them twice a year, and we do trim their hooves as well. So when they're in Iceland, it's very, very cold there. So they grow nice, thick, long coats, and they're running around so they can wear their hooves down. But we here on the farm, we have to shear them and trim their hooves. Little pedicures twice a year, huh, Mabel? And also, fun fact, I am actually part Norwegian, so I'm of the Scandinavian variety, and I have my tattoo. So it's a Norse compass with the flower there is Angelica, and which was a medicinal herb back in the day. And then I have 2 little raven feet there. So anyway, so yeah, fun fact about me. So it's kind of nice to have sheep that maybe my ancestors actually had or raised, or you know what? Maybe we were part of the Viking family that actually is responsible for bringing the sheep to Iceland. We'll go with that. Yeah, we'll go with that. And another fun fact, so sheep, they do have teeth top and bottom in the back, but in the front, if Mabel will let me, they only have teeth on the bottom. So the top is actually a very nice hard plate of gum right there. You're such a good subject. So yeah, they don't have any top teeth in the front, just in the back. Did I say that they were brought in the 9th or 10th century? I don't remember if I said that. So we're gonna go walk into the shop and I will show you our late and very great ram, Dwayne. We lost him a few years ago due to blue tongue disease, and Icelandic sheep, along with anything else, they are prone to some diseases and illnesses and sicknesses, and for the most part, Icelandic sheep are pretty resistant to parasites. We still have to go through them. We still have to get them checked, but the last couple years that we've had parasite checks I send them to the vet checks them. She basically couldn't find any parasites. She had to look to find any eggs whatsoever. So they're pretty parasite resistant. Now they can also live, I think the average is like 14 years on average. They can have lambs up through 10 years old or even longer than that. Most of our flock was born in 2016. So those are the original ladies and Chester. And we do selective breeding. So if we have a lamb that comes up and is just a stinker or isn't built right or something's just off, we do not keep them for our breeding program. If we have a mom or a ewe who is an absolute bugger, we had Heidi and she was horrible. She was mean. She was nasty. She was destined for the freezer, and she tastes amazing. So we're very particular here. Personality is a big one. So if they're here domesticated on the farm, you want something you can easily handle. Now, if they're out on the range, you want something with a little more spice in their attitude so they can fend off predators. Okay, so here is, this is Dwayne's horns that we actually had to cut off. They were growing a little bit into his face. And here's the first cut. We used a diamond wire that the vet cut off. I gave him a little bit of pain meds because there was a little bit of blood loss and a little bit of nerves that were in here that was making him uncomfortable. So we did cut those off so he was much more comfortable. So he did pass away from blue tongue disease. He was absolutely gorgeous. He was such a sweetheart, loved him to death. So he is now immortalized forever on our wall. And I'm actually going to take these rods here. I'm going to cut them and weld them together and set them up there somehow. And I'm going to hog that end out and put a shot glass in there. So we're going to have little shot glass ends. Thanks to our late and great Dwayne the ram. All right, so now what do they eat? So when they're out on the prairie or out on the field, they normally they graze, they eat leaves, they eat grass, they eat weeds, some weeds. Here they can go out and they can graze on anything they want to. I've seen them chewing on sticks. Sheep are pretty resourceful when it comes to eating. Now, we have to supplement their food starting in about October, late October, when all the grass starts dying, or because we live in Eastern Washington, it gets so hot that the grass dies in late summer, early fall. So we do have to supplement their feed, and we feed a mixture of grass, alfalfa. We rarely give them anything else other than some minerals, which is iodized salt blocks. We give them selenium is really important, and B vitamins and some other little supplements as needed. So they're generally a very healthy breed. But when they come into, say, North America, because they're a very, very pure breed. There is a registry. It's called Isabona, the Icelandic Sheep Breeders of North America, I think it's called. And we do not register ours because we haven't really had the need, because we use them mostly for meat. And here's Chester. Here's our other main breeding ram. He's so sweet. I love you so much. Hi, buddy. And Gunner over there, he's actually, he was sold, but she has not come to pick him up yet. So I don't know what the plan is there, but we only have one breeding ram, and that's really all we need. We don't have that many ewes to service. Hi. Hello. Good morning. I know, I haven't fed them yet. Sheepdog. Coyote. So here's a little girl. This is beautiful right there, baby, and Chester's baby. She is our one and only meat sheep this year. Yes, we are going to be processing her soon for meat. So Icelandics are what's called a dual purpose. They are really good for wool. We don't selectively breed for high wool production because that's just not what we do here, but they're really amazing for meat as well. The texture of their meat isn't like beef. It's very fine grained, very delicious, and very, very tender. And you can milk them. Their milk is actually quite delicious. There are some strains that people are breeding, or some bloodlines that people are breeding for a little bit more milk, or they may crossbreed them with a milk production sheep. However, they are just generally more or less for meat and wool. They also make beautiful pelts. So when we process her, we're actually going to be saving her pelt and I'm not sure what we're going to do with it yet. Maybe sell it, maybe put it up on the wall because they are super soft. And their skulls, as you saw from Dwayne up in the shop, they make beautiful wall mounts. And so we're going to do that with her too. She's going to be awfully pretty. So 142 to about 140 days is on average how many days they are pregnant for. So I'm really looking forward to it, as always. And if you guys have any questions, again, I cannot guarantee and I will never say that all those facts were absolutely 100%, because again, if you go through different websites, there might be a little bit different information. But that's what I know, and I love them, and they're amazing. And next time I might do a little bit of what's what on those two little off breeds that we have, and I still love them just as much. Katie and Llama. Happy holidays, everybody. And I want to say again, thank you to Laura. You have always been supportive. Anybody who's been asking, and thank you so much for the concern. I'm still going through a little bit of health stuff, so I've been not picking up the camera much because I just haven't been really feeling great, which is odd for me because normally I can run circles around myself, and I've been a little bit slow lately. So there's that. Anyway, hope you have a wonderful day. Support your local farmer. And it's cold, my hands are frozen. Let's get these pigs fed because I still have to go to work. It's early yet. All right, those were hopefully accurate sheep facts with Wendy. And next time we're going to do the other two breeds, and I hope everybody has a great day. I don't claim to be an expert, do I, Dave? No, not even close. Not even close. Hi, Joey. I just love sheep. Yeah, that's true. And I love you. And I love you. Silly puppy dogs. Hi. Good boy, Dave.